This short video will be about section 3.5. It's on what we call five-number summary and box plots. It's directly related to the previous lesson we just did. In a five-number summary, when asked to find a five-number summary, you're just being asked to find values that you know already, which are the minimum value of a data set, the maximum, Q1, remember, that represents quartile 1, which we now know is also the 25th percentile. The median, right there, that is P50, or the median, or it's also Q2. Quartile 1 is also, remember, the median of the first half of the data set. Q3 can be thought of as the median of the second half of the data set. And then you know what a maximum is. So you know what those values are, and so all you have to do is find those. Now you could do those by hand, but when we have data sets that are big, we just use StatCrunch to do that for us. So for example, here are the finishing times for the men in the 60 to 64 age group in a 5-kilometer race, a running race, how long it takes 6 year-olds to run. And so then you can see 5 kilometers is around 3 miles, 3.1 miles around there. So you can see the times is a really fast time. But you can see there's going to be different values. So you would get that into StatCrunch. I have that in there already right here. Here are the times. And so it's already lined up. So we could find the medians. No, it's not lined up. But what we do is stat. And there's two ways to do this. Summary stats, columns. And I want it for 3.5, example 8. And then here, if you look carefully, we have all the values here. You have your min, max, Q3, Q1, all of those would be values that we want to find the five. So we have that, Q1, Q3, minimum, and then the other one is the median. You look carefully, there is the median there, and that's it. Hit enter, and then you have your 5-number summary. An alternative to this, there's your 5-number summary right there for this times, for this data set here. An alternative to this would be making a box plot, and hence there's box plot. I want it on 3.5 data. And then we had shown basically last time to, I like to draw it horizontally side to side. And then you could also use this to identify outliers. If you want, you'd click that. Otherwise, you just hit compute, and then there is a box plot right there. That's your box plot. Important values come out. You can see there, min value, Q1, median, Q3. So that's the way we're going to do it. It's just the interpretation on this. So as I see this, one interpretation, you can say here's the median. So it's around 30.95. You can see compared down here. If we wanted to see kind of wonder what the distribution is, we could do a comparable histogram to kind of see what that looked like, compare the two together of that. I'm going to compute that. And so you get an idea when you can compare the two together here that we have, here's it's slightly skewed to the right. And I can see that here, but look at this long whisker. This is a box and whisker plot, a box plot. You can see these whiskers. It's a little bit longer. And you see it's a little bit, the tail's a little bit longer. And then most of the data in there. So that's how we're going to do a 5-number summary for this section here. It should be a pretty quick section, not a lot of new stuff, just the idea of constructing a box plot. And this is what we had just done there with the 5-number summary. You can then, you can see we could then decide which one of these box plots that we constructed one, and that's what we did there. You could see what the box plot looked like when we did it right there. Now, the follow-up question, the last I did here is take a look at a histogram. Look at this, is a nice, this histogram is skewed right. Look at how you have a longer whisker here. This one's symmetric, and you have the same size whiskers here. This one is skewed left, and you can see the whiskers. That's one way to recognize the skewness or the distribution of a data set by looking at a box plot. That's it.